Even the groups that are talking about marine plastic are highly reluctant to talk about what a lot of that plastic is, which is fishing nets and fishing gear. We hear a lot about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and say, oh, isn't it terrible? All our cotton buds and plastic bags are swirling around in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. 46% of it is fishing nets, discarded fishing nets, which are far more dangerous for marine life than our plastic straws, because, of course, they're designed to kill. Now, this is so crashingly obvious. Why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't even the plastics campaigns talking about fishing?
How had I not heard about this before? Fishing vessels discard a massive amount of ropes and lines, and this was a major problem. Today, even some of the most remote places on Earth were awash with fishing gear, like Henderson Island in the Pacific Ocean, and Svalbard in the Arctic Circle. In fact, looking closer at some of the whales that washed up in the UK when my journey began, I discovered fishing gear was the main trash in their stomachs. This was the whale in the room that no one was talking about. I even found that longline fishing sets enough fishing lines to wrap around the entire planet 500 times every single day.
Although there isn't a single fishery in the world that deliberately targets sea turtles, 6 out of 7 species of sea turtle are either threatened or endangered, not because of climate change, not because of ocean pollution, not because of plastics in the ocean, but because of fishing. But this is an issue that nobody wants to talk about.
Again, if this was true, how come I'd never heard about it? All the headlines I'd ever seen focused on plastic straws, so I decided to look into the research. A global study estimated a conservative 1,000 sea turtle deaths from plastic per year. However, in the United States alone, 250,000 sea turtles are captured, injured, or killed every year by fishing vessels. If a single sea turtle with a straw in its nose went viral, then why wasn't this front page news? When I went on the websites of leading marine organizations who tackle plastic pollution, I found pages and pages encouraging people to stop using everything from tea bags to chewing gum, but no mention whatsoever of what to do about fishing gear. That is, if they even mentioned it. Instead, plastic straws seemed to take up 99% of what these groups were talking about, which became even more shocking when I found out plastic straws only accounted for 0.03% of plastic entering the ocean. This was like trying to save the Amazon rainforest and stop logging by boycotting toothpicks. It was barely a drop in the ocean. If fishing gear was such a huge problem, I wanted to know why my favorite plastic organization wasn't talking about it. So, according to the Plastic Pollution Coalition, what is the main source of plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch?
Microplastics. For the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, I'm mostly finding microplastics.
Well, the latest study actually showed that 46% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is fishing nets alone, and the majority of the other garbage were other types of fishing gear. So wouldn't that be the majority?
No, I wouldn't say the majority of the plastic in the gyres fishing nets. It's a lot. It's a mix of things.
But a majority means over 50%, and fishing-related garbage in the patch is over 50%. So wouldn't that make it the majority?
Yeah. So if it's close to 50%, that's yes, plastic fishing nets. There is nothing that would compare to that ratio as far as one item, you know. But the overwhelming thing is that it's plastic fishing nets.
Is there something that people can do to stop this fishing net trash?
One thing that you could do is eliminate or really reduce your intake of fish, and to really let those populations rebound, but also that will eliminate as much materials being used to get those fish.
Well, do you know why this important message isn't on your website?
I don't know. I don't make the website. I mean, it'd be great for you to talk to Deanna about it. I mean, she's the founder. She's been in it. She could probably give you better answers.
So Jackie was saying that one of the ways to tackle the massive problem of fishing nets in the ocean is to say no to eating fish. But I was wondering why you haven't put that important message on your website.
A consumer message to eat less fish? Yeah, it's not my area. It's not my area of focus. I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't have time. We have an event. Can you turn off the cameras? Thanks. I'm not interested in focusing there. I don't have an opinion about that.
It's just, I was talking about what people can do to make a difference about fishing net trash in the ocean, and Jackie said we could eliminate or reduce fish consumption, and I asked if that was a
She didn't say to eliminate fish. I know
did.
that she didn't.
Is eliminate or really reduce your intake of fish.
She did.
She didn't say
knows.
eliminate fish.
I had no idea what was going on. Why was such a simple question receiving such backlash? My only option was to follow the money, so I did. And sure enough, there it was. Of course, they're not going to talk about fishing nets. The Plastic Pollution Coalition is the same organization as the Earth Island Institute. These are the same ones who are behind the Dolphin Safe Tuna label, who work with the fishing industry to sell more seafood. No wonder why they don't want to talk about the leading cause of plastic pollution in many parts of the world.
Now, it's entirely right to say that we must use far less plastic. But even if not a single gram of plastic entered the oceans from today onwards, we would still be ripping those ecosystems apart, because the biggest issue by far is commercial fishing. It's not just far more damaging than plastic pollution, it's far more damaging than oil pollution from oil spills.